What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this video we're going to be talking about NIO post earnings. So we had earnings after hours yesterday. We didn't have a lot of volume. Today we actually had real volume, first trading day after earnings. So it was very interesting to see what actually happened today. And it gave us like a clear picture of what was happening during normal volume hours. And spoiler, it was fairly good considering how much we were down in aftermarket yesterday. So let's do a quick look at NIO and let's take a quick glance at what it did. So yesterday, NIO, they reported their earnings. If you haven't already watched the video before this, I went over some major points of their earnings report. I talked about their deliveries, all of that. So be sure to watch that video first. Now, when that earnings report came out, we saw a bad reaction. So the earnings report was mixed. They didn't beat on EPS, but they, beat on revenue, and they missed their deliveries by like 10 cars. So it was a mixed earnings report. And then we saw that reaction after hours. We basically, as you can see, we opened up, what was that, 37.40, around that area. We opened up at that price, meaning that NIO, during aftermarket or whatever, dipped down to that. Then we decided to open up there during today's session. We opened up there and we were immediately met with a huge amount of buyers. They just shot price up. We were even pushing highs of 41.24. Now, I want to bring this up because around this time, the market, it was pushing up as well. So we saw quite a push up on the market. NIO was doing great. We had other things doing great. It was looking okay. And then, as usual, we had that end of the day sell-off. NIO was actually a subject to that as well. So if you look at the last, or you look at the 15-minute time frame, pretty much after 10:30, that was really our peak. We just had a slow bleed off. So all of the action happened in the morning, and after that, like most Fridays, it just bleeds off slowly, which is unfortunate, but considering all things, NIO was still up on the day, and I like it. So we sold off, we bled off. We saw that reaction the last hour kind of bleeding off more. But the important part is, and this is what I wanted to bring you guys attention to, is that we closed above this 39.39 area. I've talked about this area last week. So last week was actually the same scenario where we were pushing up. That Thursday, I think, this was a Thursday. We stayed above it. Friday we broke out. So Friday was looking like a breakout as well last week. This week, it was a little different story. We were heading back in this dip buying scenario. We had the earnings come up, and then we kind of like we're clawing our way back up. But the story still goes the same. We stayed above 39.39. So this area, I know you guys have heard me talk about so much, but it really is important. It is important because last week, Thursday and Friday, we got above it. We tested it and really took off. This week, we returned back to it and we're able to stay above it. So I'm very excited for next week because we're setting up nicely. Now, of course, that doesn't mean we have to push up. That doesn't mean we're going to completely move next week. No, what it means is that we're setting us up for potentially a good week. So what does that mean? Well, it means that we have to stay above 39.39. If we fail to stay above that, then unfortunately, we probably will see some more downside. It's been a pivot point. We broke out of it, stayed above it. So next week, guys, our main focus is staying above 39.39. For a while now, we should be good because we had earnings. They reported it, whatever. We got that over with. It's done. Great. Now we don't have too much volatility going into the rest until they report again. So we have quite some time before next report coming out. So I think this is where NIO really needs to shine. It needs to really gain its steam back and needs to start pushing up. So, I've mentioned this area before. We haven't hit it yet. I'm looking at the 44.67 area. That's the area of my target price, at least for this week. Really want to see us get to it. And at the very least, try to break above it. That's what I'm looking at for next week. That's what my goal is for NIO. So I'm very optimistic with NIO this week. just based off of the confidence where buyers came in after that reaction, they bought it right back up today. That let me know, hey, the buyers are there. I think we're back on that train with NIO, and I do think investors like that report, even though there were some areas where they didn't exactly hit. But overall, I think NIO is going to have an extremely strong next quarter. Hopefully, I'm hoping, guys, that the chip shortage is starting to get better, because that really affected it this quarter. So hopefully we see some, pressure alleviated from that, and then NIO and all the other automakers can really start benefiting from that and really start ramping up their production, because there is still a huge demand for cars right now, and there is little production because of this chip shortage, or it's a lot harder to produce these cars, as we saw by NIO and other auto companies who have shut down their plants. So keep that in mind going into next quarter and also the upcoming weeks. Overall, we still have quite some time for that, so keep that in mind as well. Let me know in the comments below, as usual, what did you think of NIO? Are you happy with buyers bringing it back up, and that they did receive this earnings as a good thing, as you can see by the charts? Or you're still on the fence, you're not sure with NIO next quarter? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video.